and we are going to continue our work with weighted lines. And so you're going to notice that I already have a shape drawing of all the stuff that's down at the end of this long table where I'm working. And I'm going to go ahead now and start adding my weighted lines. Now, the trick is I have a lamp here, and there's light on it. So I'm going to be very light around any outlines with the light bulbs, because those ultimately will be super light. Because even though I want to show weight and make the things that are darker closer, the light bulbs are going to end up being pretty almost invisible as we continue our work through the week. Now, the parts underneath here, though, at the base of the lamp, I can certainly make those really dark, and I can kind of show off the fact that this shape is right next to me. So I'm going to push down on the base here a little bit and let those lines really sink in. Want some more sink in over here. And then I have a little tin. It's like a tin for, I think, some earbuds. I'm going to go ahead and set that up. And that's close to me too, so that's going to have a pretty crisp and strong finish. And it's going to drop back down here. And kick over to the side. And there's going to be a little bit of an edge here, so we're getting on the way. Now, I have a marker back here. It's actually a little bit longer, so I'm going to let it be in the space as well, but it's going to be a little bit lighter. And then I have a paper over here, but I'm slowly lightening each of my shapes as I refine them. So I've got a box of markers over here now, and a, believe it or not, kind of like a rag from a dry erase board. So we've got a dry erase board up here, and there's a little rag here. I'm going to get some of those details in now, because I can use my contour line drawing skills from before to really show the object. So I'm going to get this next part. Everything's still getting a little bit lighter as it's getting further away. I can do that with the table too, so the edge of the table is right here. And when I get back to the next part where it opens up, and I can see it again, I'm going to let that be really light for my final lines. I'm even going to make some of these lines. I've got a book here with a piece of paper in it. A little bit lighter. There's the cover of the book. And then there's like another tin over here. A lot of tins everywhere for things like pencils and erasers, other drawing materials are sitting there. But now that I look at it, you know, this one still should be a little bit darker. So I'm going to go back and actually darken it up. So if I do it, and I don't think that it's dark enough as a line, I can add a little bit more darkness. Like this is pretty close to me too. So this can also be a little bit darker. And I'm not going to hurt the marker by making it a little bit darker in there too. That's okay. Now behind the lamp, I'll add in this bit. And again, I'm going to leave it fairly light. No pun intended, because ultimately it's going to be pretty bright. But back here I've got that cup, the one from all the other drawings. It's going to be right around here. So I can go ahead and start adding that in a little bit lighter. And I don't even have to finalize it in the same way. I've got the scissors in here. I'll go ahead and sketch those in nice and light again. And a whole slew of more pens, pencils, and markers. All the usual things you would expect to find in a house like this. But notice I'm not getting too carried away, either with how dark they are or anything else. I'm keeping everything down here pretty light, or pretty dark, and everything back here a little bit lighter. So I've got my handle, and now I'm really on my way. So these weighted lines, these weighted contour lines are a great addition to help me keep making my overlapping drawings look a little bit more realistic, just like they would in real life.